Hey, great day and inspirations, you AC community that's out there. You got another one that we're about to put down. This is AC Newsflash with me, John Register. I am the board chair for the Amputee Coalition, and the wonderful Cass Isidro. We've had such a great week this week, and we just kind of want to update you on some things. But first of all, there's some what I would call I wouldn't say confusion, but just kind of some clarification on roles and responsibility. You went from this board role to the CEO, and then CEO back to the board. What does all that stuff work? And so we just wanted to share with you before we kind of got into some of the amazing work that staff did this over the past couple of weeks, and just share with you what the different roles are, so you are educated and know how we operate it. So in the board chair role, there are kind of two major functionalities of a board, right? So you can have either a governance board or a functional board. So the functional board is kind of in the weeds. They are kind of helping the staff along with some of the work that has to be done. And a governance board kind of is pushing the staff or holding the staff accountable to the ends of the organization. We kind of set that direction, and then it's Cass's job to go in, and I'll let her explain what her role is once she kind of gets the direction from the board of directors. So Cass, what's your role?
Sure thing, John. Thank you. And the staff is responsible, the teams that we have, for implementing the strategies and the vision of the board. When the board is setting that mission, the vision, the values, we put those to life. And it's figuring out, when we say we want to be a larger organization, when we say we want to reach our 4.4 whatever million, over 4 million, those living with limb loss and limb difference, we figure out what that looks like, and we put that in motion. And we report that back to the board, and the board asks questions. A lot of times the board says, we want it bigger, and we figure out how to make it bigger. And that's the dynamic that goes back and forth.
And it's a beautiful relationship. And so that's why Cass and I are doing these, because once we get together, we meet very often, at least once a week. We're usually talking on email every day. As Cass was saying, sometimes board members have parts of life that they are in that actually attract businesses or their relationships into this organization, to help it move and advance forward. And it has to, the ability to move with ease is because when the staff is doing their job and the reports are going out, it makes it easier to sell the organization. So we are seeing a mind-blowing growth right now because the staff is in place. They are executing at a very high level. Actually, some of the things that were some areas of concern are now people are coming us and showing us as the model. So that is getting us in a very great spot. So I want to transition right now into what happened last week, just a few days ago on Capitol Hill. So Cass, what was going on Capitol Hill with the team?
So it was our in-person advocacy forum. We brought in community members. We had a training in person. How do you find your voice? How do you prepare for those meetings on the Hill? And then the next day, everybody went on the Hill. And John, you were part of that group, and you got that firsthand lens. So I want to hear that part of it.
Well, thank you for that. When staff puts this whole thing together, right? And we did some shifts around that. We brought people in. And the reason for that is when we get on Capitol Hill, we have on our values now, right? If you read down our values, our stories matter. Voices matter, and our voices matter because our stories matter. So we train everybody up, and I got a chance to, just like we always do, we walk Capitol Hill, and it was great, right? We met with the Duckworth office and a lot of other, I just won't keep on naming because I'll miss somebody for sure. And all of these individuals are very interested in what we do because they see the end user. They see a person that's living in the community. So we're talking about healthcare disparities, or we're talking about procedures, and why does somebody that has an internal prosthetic get a different treatment than someone with an external prosthetic, right? So all of those things are going. So Kids Can Move campaign that many of you are engaged with across the country. We are sharing those with constituents that are on the Hill, and they're asking us questions about them because they know that's impacting a portion of their constituents back in whatever home state they're in. And it makes a huge difference when you come in from that person's state and you're meeting with the House side and the Senate side to the representative. It really makes a fantastic difference. So what were some of the outcomes that you heard about, Cass?
I think just, people getting really excited and feeling like our representatives on the Hill wanted to hear them, like the true value of being there in person. This was one of my first times being in community with some of our community members that are so outspoken, and learned so much. I mean, really learned the path that we need to figure out moving forward with influencing federal legislation, with providing education. There is so much work to do. So I can guarantee that we will be back next year if we are not back on the Hill before then, because this is really important to the organization. It's important for the future. It's important that we keep the training alive, and we keep those in-person touch points very much alive for those relationships. You know, it's been just a tremendous success for Limb Loss and Limb Difference Awareness Month. Like, huge outpouring. We have had more stories in the first week that I think we figured out that we wanted for the whole month. So the Thrive blog has been tremendous. Just a reminder that we do have a new ambassador and community champions program that you can sign up for year round. So that's really exciting. That's on our website. Also, some programming updates. Our community engagement team now has over 700 active certified peer visitors. That's our, most important grassroots kitchen table program, where we are there so people are not alone. We have over 400 affiliated support groups, and now we are at more than 125 hospital partners. And I was just able to be on a quarterly call with them, and just such an exciting group that's making the peer visits possible. We really, really appreciate our partners. We're also thrilled to have partnered with Avalier Health. I know we spoke this last week on the Hill, but we are now know that our mission is to reach more than 4 million people living with limb loss and limb difference. So that is the new number, folks. That's what we'll be sharing, well over 4 million people. And then finally, this week, you probably saw it on our social, but if you didn't, I'm happy to tell you that the Youth Engagement Program, Workforce Development Program, part of that launched, and that is to assist 15 to 17-year-olds living with limb loss and limb difference with career and professional development. So this is like summer jobs. This is making sure our kids, our youth, can launch their journey into the workforce, because we all know that finding a job, being able to hold a job, knowing that you can be self-sufficient is just crucial to moving into adulthood. So really excited about that. And I do believe we will have a town hall coming up in May, and you will see John and I again. And that time you can definitely send in your questions when you see that town hall announced, because we do address all of those questions either in person, or we follow up with you directly afterwards. So please keep this conversation going. But that's the highlights from my side, from the staff side.
So we'll see you in a couple weeks, fortnight, on
Thank
our
you.
AC Newsflash.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.